Hello, insiders. This week, we have a little walkthrough on YouTube Analytics from Assaf. Welcome back to the show. You
Thanks.
were on Insider before, right?
Yeah, I was here about a year ago, I think. I told you guys about the new impressions and CTR metrics that we launched.
Oh, that's right.
It's been a while since then. We launched a bunch of other new cool stuff in YouTube Analytics, and I'm keen to show you what we have.
Yes, I remember that one. That was the one where YouTube Nirvana is high CTR and high view duration.
Right, exactly.
The combo.
That's the combo.
That's the high five moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so since then, a lot of people may not know this, but we've made a ton of improvements to YouTube Analytics.
Exactly.
And I guess what we're going to do today is kind of walk through the Creator Insider data story using YouTube Analytics, and you'll show us how we should use this product to help understand our channel and be more successful.
Yeah. I want to give some tips. Sorry, I want to give some tips because you can really learn a lot of cool stuff about your channel and audience from YouTube Analytics. So let's show some examples. Let's start from the basics of really understanding the tool and how it's built. And then we'll go to the more advanced and cool features.
All right.
So let's start with a simple example. Let's say you want to know how many views your channel got in the last 90 days. So we're now looking at your YouTube Analytics.
And just for people who may not use YouTube Analytics a lot, like how did you even get to this page?
Right. So when you go to Studio, you'll start here in the dashboard.
Yep. Okay.
So you have 3 entry points into Analytics, and we'll point out to those later as well. But you can go to Analytics straight from the left nav menu item here that says Analytics. But there is also a go to Video Analytics here that takes you to a different view of Analytics. We'll cover that later. And the go to Channel Analytics, which is identical to the one on the left nav.
Okay.
So clicking any of them will take you to Analytics. Let's go to the channel one.
Okay.
And so starting from this point, let's say we want to answer a simple question of how many views I got in the last 90 days. So the one thing to point out is that we have a date picker at the top right, and we can change it. There are some quick choices here. We can select the last 90-day option. And you already see the total number of views, 721,000 views for your channel. Now, you might ask yourself, okay, which videos are performing the best? And you can see that Barbara's take on ads-friendly guidelines is the top one.
Barbara's always...
I know, she's the top
She gets all the best content, and she's like a real creator on the side. We can't compete with that from the room of chairs.
I don't know if I'm going to convert that here, but I'll leave it to you. It's a healthy competition, I think. Anyways, when you click on that, where you find yourself is actually the video view of Analytics. So previously, what we were looking at was the channel view. So just going back here, you'll see the channel avatar at the top left, and you're looking at the context is always the total number of views or watch time
across
subscriber
the entire
channel during the last 90 days.
So the sum of all the views from all the videos on your channel.
Yes, exactly. Okay. During those last 90 days. And when you go to a particular video view, what you're looking at is that entity specifically. And there are slight differences in the kind of information you can find there. So as an example, I'll just point out one report which is available only at the video level, but not at a channel level, which is audience retention. And this gives you, it's a very useful chart to inspect specific videos and where your audience drop off, at which point of the video the audience drops off. You can even click more at the bottom left and see the kind of drop off curve, and there is a useful player here that you can use and point to particular points of interest, and the player will kind of jump to that specific point.
Right.
So this is kind of the video view of Analytics versus channel, and that's a key concept you always need to be aware of.
Now, how did you get to the video specific view for this video?
Okay, so there are different ways to navigate to the video level view of Analytics. One way is to go to your video list, and any video that you select here will become the focus of what you're looking at. So selecting a video and then clicking the Analytics for that video will take you to the Analytics in the context of the video.
Okay.
Right? And from here, you can change again to last 90 days. We'll come back to the since publish view in a minute. Another way to get here is going back to the channel level Analytics. you can basically click on any of the videos in the cards, and they're highlighted as blue links, and clicking any of them will take you to that video. And another very cool and useful thing you can do to navigate to a specific video is, let's say you're looking at this channel chart and you notice that there was a spike in watch time, or let's say look at views, a spike in views on that day due to this video that you published, the new mobile merch carousel. Clicking on this one will actually take you directly to that video, and that can help you kind of like navigate and understand what's going on. So this is the way to navigate between video and channel. The last way to do that is actually use at the channel level. You have the search box at the top, and you can type any kind of like search term you want, and that will highlight the relevant videos, and you can navigate to those as well. That might take you to the details page of that video, and then clicking on analytics for the video will direct you to the analytics page.
Okay, and in a previous one, there was this sort of like gray shaded visualization. What was that?
Yeah, that's actually a really cool feature which is unique to the new analytics, and we call it the typical performance. And what it shows you is the kind of like the watch time, or let's switch to views, the number of views and how the view count grew over time from the moment the video was published.
Right.
And that's compared to the band of typical performance of what your videos typically get.
So this particular video is not performing as well.
Not performing as well, exactly. And we can go maybe to a different one.
Maybe find one with Barbara.
Probably, you're right.
Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Let's see. Again, going to Barbara's take. Actually, another way to get to here is another cool feature to highlight is the snapshot card. That's available on the dashboard, and it shows you the how your latest upload or your latest publication is ranked compared to the last 10 videos. Yeah. So your best performing one, when you compare the first 17 hours and 29 minutes of all these videos, was this dollar icon green versus yellow. Again, a Barbara one. Just putting it out there. Looking at the views since publish, show again this chart, and unsurprisingly, since we know it's the best performing one, it's above the typical performance band, and that's a pretty cool feature available only in the new analytics. Now, cool. I wanna show you some of the more advanced features that we have here as well.
Let me just recap one tip that you gave that I think might be very helpful for people. So we talked about the channel level versus the video level. If you're ever confused and you look in the top left corner, there's a visual cue, which is if you see the channel avatar, you're at the channel level.
Exactly.
If you see the thumbnail from the video, you're at the video level. Yes. And if you want to look at the data just about that video, and you see the channel avatar on the top left, you're not at that video level.
Right, you're not looking at that thing you want to look at. So always look at the top left. Make sure you're looking at this thing you're interested in. Now,
and that's why some people say, oh, the new YouTube analytics doesn't have X, Y, and Z, because they may just be looking at the channel level.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of our features are available at the video level. For example, editor. You want to edit a video, it doesn't make sense to edit the entire channel.
Yeah.
Right? So you always need to navigate to a specific video and go to the editor from within that video.
Cool.
Okay, actually, before we go into the more advanced features, one feature that we know is creators find very useful and very helpful is to be able to answer the question, which videos are being watched right now, right? We all want to know that. And we have that, we used to call it the real-time report in the classic legacy analytics. And now we have it at the latest activity card, which is available here on the overview, bottom right. And at the channel level, again, what you're seeing is the top 5 performing videos in the last 48 hours. The number here is the total number of views in the last 48 hours. And then you have it broken down by the top 5 videos. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, I want more than just 5. Clicking see more here will open the what we call the deep dive report of real-time analytics. It gives you the last 48 hours and last 60 minutes, and you can sort by both columns, right? And you can even sort by publish date, and you get a total of top grossing 30 videos. In previous legacy analytics, we had top 25. We're giving you now top 30.
Yes.
And
more real time.
More real time, exactly. And that's a very useful report to know which videos are trending right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a natural kind of like next question might be, okay, let's look at my top let's look at the top grossing video.
Yeah.
Why is that doing so well? So how do I learn more about this? If you hover above the name of that video, you can click on the analytics icon here.
Okay.
And that takes you again to the video analytics for that particular video. You can see that it's performing above your typical performance in terms of views.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even go to the latest activity or real-time analytics for that particular video. And at the video, we said that at a channel level, it gives you the top grossing videos.
Yeah.
At a video level, it will give you where the traffic is coming from.
Yeah.
So in this case, we have a bunch of direct outside of external to the platform kind of like traffic. The second most frequent source is the browse features, which it's probably home and the subs feature. And you can learn more about that from going to the Reach Viewers tab and see your different traffic sources.
Now, one thing I noticed on the previous screen was a little kind of text summary at the top with a rocket ship.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a super cool thing that is, again, available exclusively in YouTube, the new YouTube Analytics. And that is, we call that automated performance insights. And we have those for videos that you publish. We have it for your channel overall. And we kind of like use the brain power that we have and all the data that is available to us to explain why your video is performing as it is and how well your channel is growing overall. The channel report is given once a month, and the video one is for each particular video. It's only available when we have enough kind of like traffic and signals. So if a video doesn't get enough traction, we might not show this. But whenever we have enough data to draw some conclusions, we'll put it out there. One thing to call out, if you don't see this kind of like view of typical performance, it might be because you're not looking at the since published state of the video. So, or if you're interested in like just looking at the last 28 days, for example, you might want to switch the date picker between those states.
Okay.
The since publish updates every minute, or it is in fact real time. And last 28 days, it's up to the last full day that we have data for. So if you're looking for the real time data, you should look at since publish, and you can actually see this kind of like point moving up.
Nice.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to show is walk you through some of the more sophisticated kind of like advanced questions that you might ask yourself. So for example, let's say you want to know how many likes your channel got in the last 90 days. And there is no obvious place where you can answer this question from here. So what's useful to do is to click the see more, and that will open what we call the deep dive view. Now, this is really the power tool for analytics. If you want to answer the more nuanced or sophisticated questions, this is where you would go. Similarly to the curated or the overview mode of analytics, the deep dive always is in context of either your channel or a video. So you need to look at the top left to know which one you're looking at. In this case, we're looking at Creator Insider, the channel, but there is a small picker here that you can click on, and that will allow you to select different specific videos, right? So clicking at this, you don't need to leave the deep dive in order to navigate to a specific video from here. You can click on the picker here and navigate to any video you please, and we also have a breadcrumbs kind of like feature to allow you to go back to Creator Insider channel. Now, going back to the question I asked you, how do you learn about, let's say, the total number of likes you got for your channel in the last 90 days? The first thing you want to do is, again, change the date picker to whichever date you're interested. In this case, the last 90 days. And the next thing I would do is to say, okay, and this is, by the way, how I would recommend thinking about the deep dive in general. What question am I trying to answer? Number of likes in the last 90 days for my channel, right? So looking at the channel, right, that's correct. Now what we want to look at is likes. We're not seeing in this table or in this chart any likes metrics. So what you want to do is go to this plus icon here that allows you to add metrics. And in this case, we're looking for interaction metrics. And it's not available because we're looking at traffic sources. So going back to the videos, I'll explain that picker in a minute. But the default state is looking at videos. You'll go to the plus state here, interactions, and then you can add likes. adding likes to the table here will also add it to the chart at the top. And so what we already can answer the question that we had in mind, which is how many likes did my channel get in the last 90 days? We set it to 90 days. We selected likes, and we know that the total is 22,922 likes for my channel. Now, that's kind of like the top line question, but you might ask yourself, okay, do I want it broken down by videos since I'm looking at my channel? Or I might be interested at the overall channel likes broken down by geography, for example. Right? So the default view is typically broken down by video. So we can already tell, we can sort by the number of likes and tell that this video received the most likes in the most likes in the
What was our most liked? I can't see it.
Yeah, it's promoting smaller channels. And if you're not sure, you can click the YouTube icon here.
Barbara.
And this is Barbara again.
She's dominating this channel. Barbara! Okay.
Yeah, let's quickly stop this one and go back to our YouTube analytics. But you might ask yourself a different question. For example, from which country do most of my likes come, right? And then that top bar here allows you to select the breakdown of what you're looking at. So in this case, we are interested in geography, for example, and that will give you the likes. It keeps the metric here, but it gives you the likes broken down by geography, right? So you can do it by video, you can do it by geography. Not all combinations are allowed. We saw earlier that actually if you try to break down likes by traffic source, that doesn't make sense. You still get the total, but likes are not associated with traffic sources. Traffic sources are associated with views or watch time, not interactions. So whenever you have a metric that is not compatible with any of the breakdowns, we will clearly indicate that. But we are now already able to kind of like answer those more nuanced questions. You can see, for example, that India is responsible for the kind of like second largest geography in terms of likes, and you can already compare it to the number of views and watch time, or even average view duration. By the way, I can see that your average view duration for viewers or creators from the US is more than 3 minutes, whereas in India it's just below 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So there might be an opportunity to maybe add, they're dropping off. Maybe if we add, let's say, subtitles, it might help our creators from India stay longer on those videos. That's just an hypothesis that we can test later. So this is how you add kind of like metrics, and you can really get richer understanding of what's going on in performance on your channel. The one more thing I want to call out here is, let's say you want to ask yourself, okay, so how has my channel performed in the last 90 days compared to same period last year? Is my channel growing, for example?
Right.
And that brings me to one of the latest features we launched in YouTube Analytics, which is the comparison. You click on the compare to here, and you need to select what do you want to compare to. So in this case, we want to compare channel of last 90 days to, again, the channel in the previous 90 days. And clicking on the channel, then you'll get kind of like this doubled duplicate view. Let's change this, the left side, to be the 90 days of last year. So changing the dates here in the date picker. Gives you this nice comparison tool that allows you to compare the total number of, let's say, views in this case. So you more than doubled your views in the last 90 days compared to the same period last year, which is pretty cool.
It also helps you see some seasonality.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Like if you have a big dive, you may want to say, well, did this happen last year?
Exactly. Yeah, and we do see that channels that have this seasonal trend find this very useful. So this is another very cool feature that is available for creators, and you can compare, channel to channel this period versus last period. You can compare it to videos, if you please. For example, Barbara versus Tom.
Well, we know how that one's gonna go.
Yeah, but those are recent videos, so not much of activity in the last 90 days. We can always come back to the last 28 days or etc. Yeah, and one more thing I would like to call out here is the groups feature that allows you to group similar videos of similar formats together. And if you go to groups, you can create new groups. And let's say you want to compare all your Barbara videos versus Tom videos, or news flashes versus
sneak peeks.
For example, you might be interested in kind of like forming groups and comparing those different formats using the comparison tool. So this is a super useful tool for kind of like deeper analysis.
Yeah, you know, this whole deep dive experience, it's almost like a product within a product.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
So how again do they get to this deep dive?
Right. So you get to it from any of our cards or charts by clicking the See More.
Got it.
You click on the See More, and this is how you get there.
Yes.
One more thing to point out is that if you prefer, for some reason, to do your analysis offline, or you're looking for more sophisticated kind of like analyses, you can always use our export functionality at the top right, available within the deep dive. And one more thing you can do is in the deep dive is filter, and we'll be adding more filters, but right now you can filter, for example, for a specific geography. So again, if you're interested in India, you might want to kind of like only select India, apply, and see all the metrics and dimensions broken down, narrowed down to that specific geography, which is pretty cool. Now, one more thing I wanted to show, since we covered the automated insights, I wanted to test an hypothesis for Creator Insider specifically, which is whether your movie quotes help to keep creators on the videos.
Oh, wow, that would be interesting. I'm almost afraid to find out.
So I was looking offline for a video with a movie quote. New mobile merch carousel. I was looking at this one, and I think there are two cool insights we can draw from there. New mobile merch carousel. Again, searching for the video, clicking on it will take you to the video level analytics by clicking on analytics here. And then let's look at the audience retention chart. You get the kind of like basics chart here, but you can click on See More. Already, without knowing what this part is, I see that there's kind of a bump is. So clicking on it, I realized that actually, you know, product overlays on your videos that demo the feature are useful. So I hope that our editor will add some of those in the in the video in this case. It seems like people kind of like probably use
they want to see the product.
They want to see the product. They want to skim quickly and go to the point where we show them the useful features. And then I later went into, I noticed this kind of like drop at the end, and I was wondering whether it's before or after your movie quote, whether people, when they see you start doing the movie quote, do they just
like, that's
switch off or not? And the good news is, Tom, people seem to like it. So this is the point where you do actually have the movie quote, and
you know that movie. Oh, so they leave
immediately after. Yeah, they don't wait for you to say, you know, if you know the movie, subscribe or in the comments. But it seems like the movie quote does keep them on the video, which is a pretty cool insight. And these kinds of insights for kind of like the video specific, inform your content strategy, etc. This audience retention curve is quite useful.
Awesome. Anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
No, let us know any thoughts or comments. I would just actually mention that the legacy YTA will be going away later in the year. So we do want our creators to use this new YTA. Give us feedback if anything is missing for them. And we'll continue to build and improve this product to make it as powerful and insightful as possible.
Awesome. So if you have further questions about YTA, you can put them in the comments. We'll definitely read them, and maybe for the most upvoted ones, we can try and answer some of them. And then if you have suggestions on how to improve the new YTA, definitely put that in the comments as well. And hopefully this was helpful for everybody out there. And in the meantime, keep it real.